Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about adding, subtracting, and multiplying by a constant with quadratics. When we're looking at quadratics and working with these operations, it's really important to make sure that you don't overthink it. So a quadratic equation is any equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. These are all considered to be polynomials. When working with polynomials, you'll often find that we are asked to combine like terms. Combining like terms is basically saying, look, any terms that look alike, combine the numbers that come before them. All right, let's give it a try. In our first example, we see that we have 3x squared. I don't have any other x squared, so I'm not going to highlight anything else. Next, we have an x term here and here. Notice that I've highlighted the minus 7 as well. And we have a number that's just by itself. It doesn't have an x attached to it. So we just are going to consider that a like term in its own nature. Next, I'm going to go back through and combine the terms that are highlighted in the same color. So for example, we have 3x squared. We have 5x minus 7x. 5 minus 7 is negative 2, and we keep the x attached. And at the end, we have our plus 2. We've now combined like terms in that first example. Let's look at the next example. Again, I'm going to start by highlighting all the squared terms in yellow. I have 2 of those in this problem. I'm going to highlight all the terms that have an x in them with green. Again, notice I'm highlighting the symbol, the negative sign in this case that came before it. And any term that has just a number, I'm going to highlight that in blue. Now I can go back and combine. So I'm going to start with the yellow terms because they have the highest exponent. 2 plus 3 is 5. So that becomes 5x squared. Negative 3 minus 4 more is negative 7. And again, I'm going to keep the x attached. And I have a plus 5 at the end, so I just do the plus 5 at the very end. There you have it. That's how we combine like terms. Let's move on to the second part of this lesson, which is distributing or multiplying by a term that is in front. When multiplying or distributing, we learned in the past that we want to simply multiply by the term over addition or subtraction. So in all these problems, you'll see we have addition and subtraction. Our first example is very straightforward. Some students refer to this as the rainbow method, where you take the 3 and you go 3 times 2x is 6x. And 3 times positive 8 is positive 24. That's all distributing is. All right, let's take a look at the next one. The next one, notice that there is not just 2 terms. Now we have 3 terms that are being added to each other. So again, I have a term out front, and I'm going to take this term and multiply it by everything inside. 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times positive 2x is positive 8x. And 4 times positive 5 is positive 20. Sometimes students get confused when doing distributing when there's more than 2 terms in the parentheses. Some students find it is helpful to create a rectangular box to help organize their distributing. What this looks like is this. Because there are 3 terms inside of the parentheses, they create a box that looks like this. The 4 goes on the one side of the rectangle, and on the other, above each box, we put each term that came in parentheses. Then they multiply the terms on the outside of each box together to help organize the thought process. Once they've filled in each box and looked at each product separately, they then combine the products at the end and write the same answer that we wrote at the beginning in green. This is a tool to help you organize your work. All right, let's go ahead and do the last one. The last problem, notice there is an X out front. I'm going to go ahead and do this one with the rectangular method. I'm going to put the negative 5x in front, and I'm going to put 2x and minus 7 on the spots above each box. Next, I'm going to do the multiplying. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10, and x times x is x squared. Negative 5 times negative 7 is a positive 35. And there is only one x, so therefore I'm just going to leave the x attached. Going ahead and writing this in an expression format, we get negative 10x squared plus 35x. That is our final answer. I hope this short tutorial on combining like terms and distributing is helpful.